Section 3 delves deeper into the specifics of the alleged systemic abuse and corruption.
And some of these claims are, well, quite shocking in their detail.
It starts with this assertion that fabricating charges and evidence isn't just something that happens, but it's become normal.
A normal approach. That's the phrase used. Not isolated incidents, not rogue officers, but a routine, accepted, institutionalized practice.
Just part of the job, allegedly.
That's the deeply disturbing implication. And the source gets specific about the types of fabrication.
Right, it differs depending on the branch.
Apparently so. For detectives, the source says it's often fraud and powder meeting drug charges. Seems like a common way to frame someone.
And for national security.
The go-to is belonging to terrorist groups. A very serious politically charged accusation.
But here's the kicker, right? The source claims these charges often have no real basis.
That's the most stunning part. No one is caught with anything, and there's no body of crime. It's all fake evidence from the printer next door.
From the printer next door. That's incredibly cynical.
It paints a picture of manufacturing evidence on demand. Completely artificial, like the legal process itself is just a performance based on fabricated props.
And there's a claim about internal pressure, too, that officers are forced into this.
Yes. The speaker says, quite bluntly, if I don't do this, they will not let me leave.
Wow. So not just complicity, but actual coercion.
That's the allegation, that participation isn't optional. It's required to keep your job, maybe even your freedom. It puts officers in an impossible ethical bind, trapped in a system they can't leave without getting their hands dirty, so to speak.
Which leads directly to the next point. False testimony. Perjury.
Which the source condemns in the strongest terms. Calls them major sins.
Major sins, like religiously significant.
Absolutely. Talks about false oaths and oaths of perdition. That's a term implying an oath leading to damnation sworn all day before the prosecution.
So, constant lying under oath.
There is no truth being told, the source states flatly. It describes a total breakdown of truth within the judicial process itself. Testimony, meant to establish facts, becomes a tool for deception.
And how does this actually work? The source gives examples.
It does. Several specific methods. Investigations aren't genuine. The Arabic phrase used, Qariyat mesh eli hasalid, means the investigation reported isn't what actually occurred.
So the official report is fiction.
That's the claim. Arrest procedures aren't followed correctly either. Igratak aldapt mesh he alegrat, meaning the procedures written down weren't the ones used.
Like claiming you witnessed something you didn't.
Exactly. Falsely claiming eyesight observation when the officer neither went nor came, or saying someone was arrested at home when they were picked up off the street.
It sounds like a systematic disregard for due process, just making the paperwork fit the desired outcome.
A complete fabrication of the legal narrative designed to ensure conviction or detention, regardless of the facts. That's the picture the source paints.
And the moral judgment on this is severe.
Extremely severe. The speaker compares these acts, these false reports and testimonies, to major sins like adultery. Even says every report you filed was like committing adultery 2 or 3 times.
That's powerful imagery.
It really highlights the profound ethical and even spiritual weight the speaker attaches to these alleged betrayals of trust and truth. It's seen as a fundamental corruption, not just legally, but morally.
Then the source describes something called the refrigerator tactic. What is that? It sounds ominous.
It really does. It's presented as a new approach for dealing with people who should be free, either acquitted or having finished their sentence.
So they're legally cleared, but they don't get released.
That's the claim. Instead of walking out, they're allegedly taken from their cell to this refrigerator room.
Yeah.
Somewhere near the main block, but outside the official system, it seems.
A sort of legal black hole.
An illegal limbo, yeah. A way to keep someone detained even when the courts have ordered their release.
And what happens in this refrigerator?
According to the source, after about a month there, a new report is suddenly issued against the person.
A new fabricated charge.
Presumably. And they're simply returned to a prison cell. Then they appear before the prosecutor again.
As if they were just arrested.
Worse, actually. The source says they appear every time in the same manner, in the same clothes, and it's normal. Like it's just routine administrative procedure.
So it bypasses the acquittal entirely. It's a revolving door back into detention.
That's exactly how it's presented. A systematic way to ignore judicial rulings and keep people locked up indefinitely on flimsy, repeated, fabricated grounds. a complete undermining of the justice system's authority.
That's deeply disturbing. The source also mentions financial corruption.
Briefly, yes, eating people's money unjustly. It suggests extortion, illegal seizure of assets, adds another dimension to the alleged abuses, not just power, but profit too.
And all these alleged crimes, fabrication, false testimony, illegal detention, torture, extortion, they culminate in a pretty devastating summary statement, don't they?
They do. The source claims the law enforcer, while punishing one person for one crime, commits 5 or 6 crimes.
5 or 6 crimes for every one they're supposedly punishing.
Yes. And it lists them. Illegal detention, illegal search, illegal arrest, torture, baseless investigation reports, fabricated arrest reports, and fabricated evidence reports. It's a sweeping indictment.
It paints the enforcers themselves as serial criminals, essentially.
That's the core accusation, that the guardians of the law are its most flagrant violators, turning the whole concept of justice on its head.
And the speaker emphasizes these points are detailed elsewhere, in writing.
Yes, in a PDF file that they say will be released, they stress how detailed it is, and they make this direct plea to Mr. President.
Right. The unnamed president.
Right, saying, read this well, because it is extremely dangerous. It frames these allegations not just as individual wrongs, but as a threat to the nation itself, a personal challenge to the highest authority.
Let's shift to Section 4. This deals with something called Al-Islam Alamni security clearance.
Yeah, and the source argues this system has become incredibly pervasive and damaging.
How pervasive?
The claim is stark. Everything in life requires security clearance.
Everything. That sounds all-encompassing.
It implies a level of surveillance and control that touches almost every aspect of life. Jobs, education, maybe even travel, permits. Who knows how far it extends? But the source presents it as nearly universal.
And what's the alleged impact of this?
The source is incredibly critical, calls it the most dangerous thing for Egypt and the entire Egyptian society. Goes so far as to say, we are destroying the country with our own hands through security clearance.
Destroying the country, that's a huge claim. How?
It suggests the system, meant for security, is actually counterproductive. It stifles people, breeds mistrust, maybe prevents qualified people from contributing. It causes systemic damage from within. That's the argument.
Are there specific examples given?
One key example is military service. If someone has a security problem, whatever that means, and it sounds like it could be very broad.
Like a relative's political views, maybe.
Exactly. Or something minor from the past. If they have such a problem, they're prevented from military conscription, blocked from serving in the army.
Okay, and what's the significance of that, according to the source?
The interpretation offered is profound. You are cutting off belonging.
Cutting off belonging?
Yeah. You're telling someone they're not trustworthy enough to defend their own country. You're excluding them from a fundamental aspect of citizenship, yet they're still citizens.
It creates a kind of second-class citizen.
That's the danger highlighted. It alienates people, breeds resentment, damages national unity. The source calls it very dangerous talk because it undermines that sense of shared identity and duty.
And does this clearance system affect other areas, like jobs and promotions?
Massively, according to the source. It claims every promotion must have approval from the officer in charge. This officer supposedly has the capabilities to choose everything, appoint this one, not appoint that one.
Based on what? Merit?
Not primarily, no. Based on these security criteria.
Yeah.
Which the source absolutely condemns, calls it forbidden haram and corruption on earth.
Why such strong condemnation? What kind of criteria are we talking about?
This is where it seems particularly arbitrary and unfair. The source says people are excluded because of distant relatives. A cousin, a daughter's husband, a son of an aunt.
Seriously? Based on who your cousin married?
Or even historical things completely outside their control. Had a grandfather who went to jihad in Afghanistan, or maybe someone in the family was a thief 50 years ago.
50 years ago? That seems incredibly far-reaching.
It paints a picture of collective punishment almost, where your opportunities are limited not by your own actions or qualifications, but by the perceived sins or associations of your extended family, sometimes generations back. It fosters nepotism and arbitrary exclusion.
Which leads to that critical question the source raises.
Right. Who will work and who will serve if everyone is excluded based on such arbitrary criteria?
It suggests a system that's actively sidelining capable people.
Exactly. Hollowing out meritocracy. Potentially leaving institutions staffed not by the best and brightest, but by those who pass this opaque, possibly biased security check. It implies stagnation and inefficiency, all driven by excessive control.
Okay, bringing us to the final section. Section 5. This is where the speaker delivers their concluding message.
And it's quite a powerful conclusion. A mix of plea, warning, and challenge.
Who is it addressed to?
Everyone, it seems. My final message to the honorable Egyptian people, human rights organizations, and the entire international community. It immediately positions the leaks as globally significant.
And what is the core message? How is this leak framed?
As official proof and confession, those are the words used, proof of oppression, fabrication, and deception carried out by the corrupt security agencies in Egypt, headed by Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
So not just allegations, but presented as hard evidence, a confession from the inside.
That's precisely how it's framed, as undeniable proof meant to be used. To apply pressure. The source explicitly says the video exposes violations and provides official documents that international bodies can use to pressure this regime in all international forums around the world.